Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Happy Tuesday. Now, I'm seeing some optimism when it comes to the AI software side. We've seen a little breather in the semiconductor space, especially with the big names like NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor, AMD. But the software names are making a comeback here, and there's one in particular making a lot of noise today. Big deal announced with one of the hyperscalers, Microsoft. This deal, almost $20 billion over the next 5 years, and the stock is up quite a bit today. The stock is going to be nbis, Nebius. Now, this is an AI stock that I've covered before. I've done 2 videos on it. Prior this year, the stock is up quite a bit since those videos, and I think the stock has a lot more room to run based off this deal. I was just running the numbers here. So tonight's presentation, I'm going to show you an article break down exactly what is composed in this deal and what's getting investors enthused going forward with this AI hyperscaler deal. And on top of that, we're going to jump in the VectorVest 7 system and take a look at the company's market cap and compare it to the deal that it just achieved with Microsoft, which is going to catapult this company as a top AI data center stock that you're going to want to have on your radar, on your shopping list, or better yet, potentially in your portfolio. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, big event coming up. We got the Las Vegas 2-day investment seminar coming September 20th, 21st, 2025. You can achieve the VIP experience in person. Just go to VectorVest.com/Vegas to register now. All right, the first article here. Look, the stock soaring 60% on multi-billion-dollar AI infrastructure deal with Microsoft, right? So Nebius said it signed a multi-billion-dollar agreement to provide Microsoft with AI intelligence infrastructure. Now, shares of the Amsterdam-based company soared more than 60% on the announcement. We'll take a look at the chart in just a moment. It's been a wild ride for the stock today. Now, the company soared after the provider of NVIDIA graphics chips for training artificial intelligence models said it signed an agreement with Microsoft worth up to $19.4 billion. That's right, $billion over 5 years. Nebius, which is an Amsterdam-based company, will deliver computing resources to Microsoft using a data center in New Jersey. So this will take place in New Jersey here. Nebius changed its name from Yandex NV last year after Russian investors bought Yandex Russian language search engine and other assets. Interesting, I didn't know that. Microsoft is increasingly looking to third parties to address a demand shortage, right? Cloud infrastructure that can handle AI workloads. OpenAI, one of Microsoft's top Azure cloud customers, has been searching for additional capacity. So again, OpenAI, the rise of ChatGPT, is putting a lot of pressure on Microsoft, and now Microsoft plans on using this company here to achieve such demand. Now, there's another company I talked about, the second video I did on nbis, and also took a look at CoreWeave. You can see Microsoft has also turned to CoreWeave for additional AI computing power, and OpenAI has signed a direct agreement with CoreWeave that's worth billions of dollars as well. Now, CoreWeave shares went up about 5% after hours, while Microsoft shares were little changed. Not too surprised there. Not going to affect Microsoft too much, but that's big for both of these companies here. There's another article I have as well. You can see here why Microsoft just inked a deal with a cloud company. As I scroll down here, you see all the stocks mentioned in the article are up except NVIDIA here, down slightly, 0.03%. The new cloud company, which made its name for itself in the technology world by serving as an alternative to the big hyperscalers, is now teaming up with one of them through an infrastructure agreement worth at least $17 billion through 2031. If Microsoft opts for additional services or capacity, the value could go up to $19.4 billion. So you're talking almost $20 billion over the next 5 to 6 years here. So the stock, you see, up quite a bit still, up 37%. So let's take a look at some of its revenue numbers going forward here. This is what I found pretty interesting here. Look, according to the last quarterly report, had a total revenue of $105 million, right? In the second quarter of 2025, an increase of 625%. I remember that earnings call. The stock went up quite a bit, a lot of noise. I mean, that's huge, right? But think of this, right? We're going from $100 million to now talking $20 billion potentially over the next 5 to 6 years. It'll be 20 billion divided by 5. That's $4 billion a year. So you're talking about going from 100 billion to now roughly, potentially up to $4 billion a year in revenue. That is massive, right? So I can see exactly why investors are getting enthused when it comes to the stock. So let's go ahead and jump in the VectorVest 7 system and see what VectorVest has to say about this position. All right, here's the stock NBIS. You can see giving up some of those gains, only 37% to the upside right now. If you take a look, we only value the stock currently at $13.70, currently trading at $87. But if you think of it like this, right, the company had roughly $100 million of revenue last year, which was a 600% increase. It got investors enthused. That's why the stock's already been on a lot of your radar already. But think about it. The company's about to get billions of dollars revenue, right? That's easily going to 10x potentially, right? It was what, $20 billion close to over the next 5 to 6 years. That's roughly, $3 to $4 billion a year. So that's a huge increase. And I have a feeling that valuation as the deal goes through is going to tick up pretty quickly. So keep your eye on the valuation here. The RV relative value, this looks at long-term price appreciation, RS relative safety. The fundamentals are not there with this stock, but the hyperscaler can add some safety to this position, right? A deal with Microsoft can help stabilize the price action of this position going forward. And I know it's probably going to be volatile as this deal, let the dust settle, right? See what happens. Look at the chart, make sure it makes sense. We're going to take a look at the chart in just a little bit here. As I scroll over to the right, if we take a look at the sales growth rate, 322%, earnings -8% as of right now. So pretty mixed bag when it comes to forecasted data. But one thing I did want to look at here, if I take a look over to the right, with the big jump up today, the market cap of this company currently is at $17 billion, right? So the deal that they just received is actually worth potentially more than the company is currently trading at. So that's one thing I want you to have on your radar, really pay attention to, is just the magnitude of this deal. And honestly, I don't think the price action and the jump in the price is quite justified yet. I have a feeling the price action might pull back a little bit more, but let's take a look at the chart. Let's not trade with our hearts here. Let's take a look at the chart and see if the trade is making sense right now. All right, here's NBIS. You can see the forecasted data, our valuation, the green line here. The stock is overvalued right now, right? The forecasted data. This deal was just announced, right? So a lot of that forecasted data hasn't caught up yet. But as of right now, the value of the stock is overvalued. But I have a feeling at this time with that deal announced, you're probably getting a pretty good deal on this position. The growth rate, -8, sales growth rate, 322% there. Again, a mixed bag, falling earnings per share, right? The stock, very speculative in nature. That can easily be determined by the VectorVest 7 software here. So I just want you to know that. But with this information in hand here, look, we were in an ascending channel here. We're right at the bottom of this channel here. And with today's price action, you can see the pivot actually breaking out to the upside of the channel. So I'm not surprised that the stock is actually pulling back right now. This is where I see the stock trying to find a level support as of right now. As well, if I scroll back, I do have a long-term trend line here from before, from these prior highs. That trend line also coming in right around the same level, giving me another reason why I could see the stock finding a level of support. So I think the pullback, it was closer to $100. It's now 87. I don't think it's a bad deal. Now, as far as a stop, as far as any kind of, potential pullback here, really want to see price action stay above this ascending channel. If price action falls back into the channel here, we could give a lot of this up, making our way back down to the 20-day or potentially even the 40-day moving average here. But looking at RT relative timing at 1.9, the momentum right now is in the favor of the bulls. I'm actually optimistic in the stock. Again, the whole argument I have here is just the increase in revenue alone. I mean, think about it. The company was at $100 million in revenue. Now we're talking about billions, not just 1B, but potentially multi-billions. And we even saw in those articles here that Microsoft and other hyperscalers here are looking for companies, looking for partnerships. So this might not just be the last deal with a major hyperscaler that NBIS could achieve here in the near future in order to keep up with rising AI demand. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's presentation. And if you did, hit that like button. As well, if you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching and you found the video informative and try to keep you on the right side of the trade, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow evening. Good night.